Y'all, many years ago, Doug Lane and his wife Kara visited an orphanage in the Ukraine for special needs children, and they realized that they were being personally called to help. Over the next few years, they adopted 5 special needs children. And from the inception, the creation, to the packaging of the soaps at Adopted Acres, they all do it together.
So come on down to the farm to visit Adopted Acres and their new soap.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
What on Wednesdays and Saturdays?
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why? What are you doing out there? Come on inside, meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, Marcus found a new brand of razor blades.
Y'all, DJ sent me a surprise package the other day with 3 or 4 new brands of razor blades inside. These are the King C Gillettes. Now, I think they've undergone a bit of a price adjustment on Amazon because I saw them a lot cheaper. I think these are the same blades as the Gillette Platinums. I'm not entirely sure, but I saw a Matt Pisarcik video. And y'all, they're a little thinner. They're a lot sharper than I'm used to. And what a fabulous shave I got with these. So if you know, put it in the comments, but you might want to grab some of these from Amazon. And what is our soap today?
Our soap today is called Rose Bloom, and there's only a few scent notes in this, but we've heard they are quite magical.
And y'all, I'm always excited when I hear Doug on the phone get excited about a scent he has discovered. Let's meet the soap. All right, y'all, from the Etsy sales page for Adopted Acres.
Shave like royalty. Royal Bloom, a commanding rose-forward fragrance that marries the rustic soul of the farm with the opulence of old-world perfumery. Grown from the ground up at Adopted Acres, this is no dainty floral. It's a power bloom. Deep, dark, drenched in oud and earthy patchouli. It's the scent of a rose garden that's endured every season and grown stronger for it. Royal Bloom isn't just about shaving, it's about arrival. The kind of scent that says you walk through storms and still wear the crown. It opens bright and clean, blooms into fresh florals, and finishes with deep, masculine woods and soft vanilla. Think English rose garden meets rustic barnwood.
Y'all, I could not be more excited because 2 of the chocolate and peanut butter scents in the wet shaving and fragrance world at large are rose and oud. And I don't think we've done one yet. And what I love is that when I was talking to him on the phone, he said, yep, I got the rose, I got the oud, but there's just something that's missing. And he found it with the patchouli. Y'all, let's open the box.
All right, y'all, this is how they arrive from Adopted Acres, and the packaging on this is quite an experience. I know Kara helped a lot to get everything lined up. Let's hope I don't mess it up. So here, because you're at the farm, you know, you gotta have it. And, of course, we love our stickers around here. There we go.
And then, when you get past the cow, what do you have on the farm? You got dirt. Y'all, there you go.
And one of the best packaging presentations in the wet shaving world.
And y'all, look how he packages the splash, the way my dad used to package his pheasants for the deep freezer. That is not going anywhere, and it comes with your choice of a restrictor or a spray cap. Are you kidding me? Oh, and here's something y'all really didn't see. At the meetup for Ariana and Evans, Peter Chikalis was premiering the new soap with Talia's scent birthday suit in it, and we sent Doug Lane a bunch of money to pick one up for us.
Ooh, it's a big
Oh,
one.
that's awesome! So you did not see birthday suit from A&E. That is for an upcoming episode, but it will be soon. Oh, and the new labels for the splashes, y'all, beautiful. I am so ready for this first impression.
All right, I feel like I have to make you go first because you've talked to Doug with this a lot.
I will accept that honor gladly.
But it's funny because there's rose, which I was a little nervous about at the beginning, and you were nervous about the patchouli, and we didn't even know what oud was when we first started.
And luckily, both of our noses have been more educated and expanded on those scent notes. But this is going to be where they come together. All right, here we go. Taking it in. Oh, the pour, y'all. It's beautiful. Let's see what kind of rose this is. Because the other thing we figured out is there are 9 or 10 very different lanes of roses in this wet shaving world. All right, here we go. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. This takes my grandmother's roses to an entirely new level. Because those were really pungent roses. I mean, you took it in and all of their character was present. Somehow, this is almost like sensing a small satchel of those rose petals that have been given a few hours to wilt in the summer sun. And when you take it in, there is a subtle but soft character to them that matches the softness of those petals themselves in the center of this delicate, quiet, mellow, gorgeous in its character. Royal bloom indeed, my friend. Y'all, if you think you know rose, this is a very different experience. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Let me look into the oud and the patchouli.
Keep whiffing, yeah.
Oh, holy crap. Okay, y'all, the oud and the patchouli are only there for one purpose: to make the rose more natural, more beautiful, softer, more palatable, more wearable, more mysterious. They do not take on their own qualities in this scent. I would not know there was oud in this. And most importantly, I would not know there was patchouli in this. I would call it magic. I would call it love. I would call it witchcraft. But y'all, I would not identify it as oud or patchouli. What a wild magic trick this is. I am in no way ready for you to take this.
Okay, please keep digging. I'm liking the description so far.
It's like he was able to take the heart of the rose and turn it up, and the sweets of the rose and turn them way down, so that it's not a sweet character, but it is overwhelmingly and deeply rose. I'm even getting the color. It's almost like your sweatshirt. That's the color, almost maybe a little bluer. The patchouli and the oud give it a tang. They give it a mouth-watering quality. I know this is weird, that almost takes it to a gourmand type of character without going all the way there. Wow, my mouth's watering the same way it does for Rive Gauche. This is amazing. Well, maybe even a similar rose.
Okay.
Who knows?
I was wondering that because I know in Cad there's even a little rose
There is.
too. And even Old Spice has some rose in there too.
I love soaps that have a scent note that I know so well, but if you were to say what's the spine of this soap, I might be a little lost because of how the character is being changed by the other subtle notes. Like you can hardly sense them, but they're having such a giant effect on the rose itself that it's changing into something I have never experienced before.
Wow.
Whoa.
Are you getting like a time of day or like a certain vibe that you'd use it?
A bright and somehow important morning.
Okay.
Like, I'm thinking coronation kind of thing. The last scene of the Queen where she leaves the cathedral.
I mean, it is called Royal Bloom.
And y'all, I think you would be super hard pressed to find a more masculine rose, and yet one that is definitively the rose character with all the sweet removed. Okay, you got to take this in.
I was going to ask
See
how
if I've
masculine,
gotten
so
at all
okay.
close to this. All right, here we go.
Here we go. Meeting Rose in a whole new world, it seems like. Wow. Okay, it's fun because parts of it are familiar, like you said. But then the other parts that make it like almost like you took it apart and put it back together in a new way.
Right.
Like it kind of gave me the visual of those art projects when you're looking at it at one lens, you can see it. And then when you look at the other side, it's like a 2-for-1. There's like a whole different other art piece in there. So you start off by getting like, oh, I know these. And then the more you dig in there, you're like, wait, I feel like I'm in an Alice in Wonderland world of something I thought I knew, but now I'm inside out and backwards.
Now, talk to me about the percentages. First of all, how much of that do you get as rose? How much is oud? How much is patchouli? Because I was freaking shocked.
Okay, it's funny. I don't even want to know if I want to figure out the math because as soon as I start to follow one scent, then I get detoured into another one, and then it's like a fun maze of like, you don't know where you are, but that's okay.
Right. It wasn't about the other scent notes for me. It was about how they were changing the rose from the ground up to be something brand new.
I feel like for me, oddly, the oud is the one that keeps pulling my nose. And so I think the rose brings me in, but then the oud makes me want to stay there and figure out who else is interacting with this fun little side of things. There's like a sweetness to the dark dampiness of the oud somehow. I think it's the rose that's adding that in, but I get what you were saying. Like it's not I don't want to say it's not the pretty side, but it's not the one you're expecting. It's
Right.
not that first thing that you
Right.
normally are like, oh, that's rose. It's the other side, the deeper,
Right.
darker sides for sure.
Because the rose molecule has top notes, has middle notes, has bottom notes inside of that natural rose scent. So y'all, if you do have a rose bush outside, or your grandma does, it's not the first parts that greet you. Those are the sweets. Those are the intense parts. It's like the last part of the whiff of that rose. That's where this begins. The rest of it's gone.
It's funny because when I first started this, whenever I would think of rose, I usually would think of like old lady. Or there's something in the perfuming world that my brain as a young teenager was like, ew, rose. This is not that side. It's a very perfumer level grade of like a perfume house version of a rose. It's not just standing in the rose garden. You're there, but there's other sides of this. There's like the deepest, darkest colors to the roses.
Would you even know this was rose right
don't
off the
think
top?
so.
See, that's just it. That's just it.
I know it says it is, but if I hadn't read the title at all and I just took a whiff of this, I would say deep, dark, masculine,
Right.
but still pretty. Like I don't know where that lane is happening in there. I would know that there's a floral, but I don't know if I would know right away that it was meant to be just based in the rose side.
Right. But for me, that's the miracle. Because it gives me a way to experience rose in a brand new way. One of the most beautiful and ubiquitous scents on this planet. And yet we have one idea in our mind what it's supposed to smell like. And a lot of them are rooted in those children's jewelry boxes that were scented with that fake rose oil. Even though that was beautiful in its way. So I love that this has given me a new way to experience that scent note.
I think the other thing that I'm really getting from here is somehow that it's like what they were saying in the write-up. It's been a rose garden that's been in that spot for like decades.
All
Somehow I can
seasons.
tell
Yes.
that that's there. I mean, my whole life, my mom has had rose bushes in the front yard. And there is something about like having it rebloom the next year. Like it's familiar, but there's something new about it. And there's something older about it, like in past memories. And that's coming through here, which I think adds that royal side. And just because it's like built in the lineage of that little garden somehow. And the oud is like a fun spin on what the earthy side could be of being in that rose garden. And then the patchouli is just kind of like there is a gentleman sitting next to you. It's not just a lady's garden for some reason. Like you can tell there have been rich, important teas or serious conversations that you could just sit there all day and have. Like it's taking me to a place. I get the location, but somehow I know it's been on that farm or plot of land for a long time.
And that is my favorite part of the description. Exactly what you said. These are roses that have been through a glorious spring and summer, but have also had to survive the freeze of winter. There's a great line from the book The Secret Garden where Dickon tells Mary, "Don't worry, the best roses will thrive on being neglected." And that's where I sense this. When those roses come back and they have survived that harsh winter and those blooms burst from those bushes again. That's the sense I'm getting from this.
I'm not getting like the Queen of Hearts roses.
No,
like there's
no,
certain
no,
ones, you know, it's not that cartoony, bright, fluorescent red. It's that deeper, darker red.
And just something so beautifully and squinchy under the surface for my nose to bite into. That patchouli is turning this ever so slightly.
Oh, I thought it was the
gourmandy,
oud.
and
That's
I love
funny.
that. No, I think it's the patchouli. I think the oud is giving me a little bit of a cloudiness, a little bit of a mysterious note on the other side. The patchouli is going down, but the oud is going up for me. And I think I want to take another look at these scent notes and build you an Adopted Acres ladder. All right, y'all, back to the Etsy page for adoptedacres.com. We start with top notes of...
Geranium, lemon, and pear.
Y'all, are you getting the geranium, the lemon? How are those coming through?
You know, I think that's the tartness side. Might be with the lemon and the pear somehow.
Oh, for me, the lemon and the pear are pulling against each other. The lemon's giving it a beautiful, clean sense of citrus, but the pear is what's combining with the patchouli and making it gourmandy. Heart notes up. Okay. Here's a little bit of an answer to our mystery. It is not a regular rose. It is
Bulgarian rose.
and then mixed with my
Peony.
mom's favorite flower.
We actually have them on the shelf over there.
Okay, of course, the rose. But how that is connected to the peony is absolutely inspired. My grandfather used to propagate peonies. That was all he did at the end of his career. I love how those are coming together because it's about 80% rose. So you keep your eye on the ball. But that peony is there to help soften it and not make it have to go so sweet. Peonies get this sweet. Roses get that sweet. So I love that he's using another floral to subdue the rose itself, and it comes through that way. I'm not entirely wrong about the gourmands. There's vanilla in the base. And then base notes of
oud, vanilla, cashmere wood, and patchouli.
So I think it is just a touch of that sort of oud from like oud spice from PAA.
I can see
what
that,
kind of
yeah.
oud do you get in this thing?
Yeah, I would agree. It's the more raw side of oud. Like, it's not a charcoal, but my brain pictures like a black rocky kind of thing with it. But it's rich. I would say that the oud here has some layers to the oud.
Right.
It's not just oud, like a single scent note.
Right.
Somehow the oud itself has tiers within that whiff.
Right. And then the oud's connected to vanilla, and then strap in cashmere wood and patchouli. So it's the cashmere wood that's taken the edges off the patchouli, if there even were any, because it's a beautiful, smooth, non-danky patchouli. I know he said earthy, but y'all, if you went to San Francisco State with me in the 90s, it's not that patchouli.
I think the cashmere wood here is also adding to the royal side somehow. Like, maybe those rose boxes were made of a much fancier wood, not just the 2x4s.
Well, it did say barnwood.
Oh,
In
true.
here.
Rustic
It's like
barnwood.
pulling against the royal part of this scent, so that's apropos for me.
I am very glad we have the splash, because I think some of these lighter scents in the dry down we're going to get.
Well, before we do that, why don't we show these folks why Adopted Acres, in the last 5 short months, has become one of the most respected soap makers in the business. It's because of this base and this lather. Y'all, minimal ingredients, but a phenomenal result. And look at that. Not an overly soft soap, but not a real hard one either. I'm going to use about that much in the bowl.
They do leave lots of room in these tubs. If you want to do a lather within the bowl, you totally can.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, Matthew Fox. You know who you are. And whenever we were testing out Doug's bases for him as he was developing them, he would say, use your HC&C bowl. That thing's a no-nonsense lather maker. And this is why, y'all, 22-gauge stainless steel, and with a little heat and a little friction and a little speed, your finger can make a layer of soap at the bottom of that bowl. But it's an awfully thin layer, you say. I know, because our goal is just to get that soap onto this brush as fast and expediently as possible. And where did you get that gorgeous patina colorway brush?
This was sent to us by the Smaldridge family. It's one of the Trotter brushes, and these colors are just royal, I gotta say.
And I'm just gonna baptize this soap with 7 or 8 sprays of the bougie. Why not 14 or 15?
Yeah, what's the Doug?
All right, and how are you gonna build this world-class lather?
You take your dry brush and stick it right onto the soap there and start going one direction, getting all those little bristles to get some soap on there, and then go the other direction. And same thing, once it feels like it's not really picking up as much on the bristles, you turn your brush about 25% and do that same thing. One direction, and start going the other direction.
I've even noticed that once the lather's sort of built, it's still important to keep turning your brush because that soap is missing some of those bristles on the edges.
And then once the soap is pretty much on the bristles there, you
Gone.
can dive down and grab the water and add that into the mix of the lather.
A few moments later.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Just for fun, he sent us a bar of soap that was only tallow. But the funny thing is, pure tallow doesn't make a lather. It's just slick. What? More water means more fun, am I right?
You're a spell on the dog.
You know how the rose is kind of defined by its beautiful, syrupy, super sweet top notes? They are gone in this. And all of those subtle, spicy, herby parts of the rose scent are turned so far up that those are what are getting lost among the ouds and the patchoulis. This is like rose turned inside out.
And that tangy side is still vocal, I gotta say.
Right.
It kind of reminds me of what's this? Or something. There's like a
Yes,
grapefruity,
behold
tangy,
the what's
something
this.
floral in that one. I'm just trying to think of anything in our den that I'm like, how can I explain what that tangy means? And that's as close as I got.
I've never smelled a rose like this. I wish I could point y'all in a direction. It's not a dusty rose. It's an earthy rose. It's a hush rose. And this is something you only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the St. Olaf whiff. On 3, 1, 2. Oh.
Spread out a little bit there.
Somehow less sweet and more sweet.
I think the pear, the vanilla, somebody else spoke up that was a little quieter.
What it is, I'm getting the pear and it's almost becoming a caramel. This is wild.
Now I get more daytime. It's funny, in the tub there, I was going to say it was more of an evening rose. This, it seems like an all-day rose
For
now.
me, there is sunlight streaming in through the windows with this. There's nothing dark about this for me. And that's interesting. There's nothing dark about this for me. You'd see oud, patchouli. Y'all, you think this is going to be on the way left side of the color wheel. It's not. Whoa.
See, that's funny because I get a lot of depth and darkness to this in a good way, but only because there's the parallels of the lighter side that I can actually whiff the deeper layers.
Right. I mean, the patchouli has edges of dankness, but not the center. Kind of like the same thing about the rose. It's kind of been carved out. So where the center of the rose has been left, the center of the patchouli has been taken out. And the oud does give a little air of mystery / Southern witchcrafts kind of vibe to this. Oh, we're going to miss Southern witchcrafts. And y'all, for those in the know when it comes to lather, there's a lot that can be gleaned just from watching how this manifests in the bowl. Look at this, y'all. So y'all, every once in a while when Doug calls and it's on FaceTime, I know I'm about to watch a shave. And I love seeing how that lather coats and covers his face. And I wanted to show you guys how this works. Look at this. It just feels safe. It just forms a seal right to your face. Would you like a little of this from your brush?
It is one of those scents I feel like I would want to spend time with. There's just something intriguing. Like, that's the word that keeps coming to mind. There's intrigue. There's mystery. There's something in the back of the shadows of that garden going on.
If you called this a gentlemanly library, I don't think you would be outside of your lane.
Interesting. There is something still just kind of regal and royal hidden in there.
I love the sense of a library without papyrus or plum, like something different, pear.
And soon we have summer vibes that we'll be showing you. Kara perfumed this one herself.
And you will see both of them on our Instagram live series in a few weeks, so check that out on a Sunday night. And y'all, my favorite part is dead ahead. We're going to open this splash and go deeper. Come along with us, won't you? Do you have a topper preference?
I don't know. It's funny. I think I just always get used to putting that one in their brand for some reason. Not that it has to. It's just funny. It's easier when we're trying to throw it on our big old legs. You got to do a whole spray down. It is nice instead of trying to make it last all the way down your legs.
All right, here we go. Take a little bit of this.
Why'd you have
Not for you, Lainey.
Oh, there's already layers I'm getting that are a little different.
This piano smells so good. Oh.
Right? That sweetened up a little, my friends.
I have not said this before, but this needs to be an EDP.
The vanilla magic.
I know. The pear?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so much more than those 3 scent notes, and they are all coming out here. Everything that was under the surface in the soap is way more present in the splash.
Yeah, the cashmere wood, the other sides are hey, don't forget about us.
And the rose is so far under the surface, that would not be the first 3 things I would say this smells like.
No, not from the splash. Maybe in the dry down, we'll give it a few more seconds. But there's something in here that's a whole new inside out, same Alice in Wonderland vibe, but the other side.
That's how you know it's magic. It's like a candied floral. It's just beautiful.
Like a powdered sugar kind of vibe?
Yeah, there's kind of a powdery sense in this.
Yeah, and not as much there, but definitely in the dry down here. Now I feel like I need to be dressed a little more royal to be wearing this splash. Not in a bad way, but I need to put some thought into my outfit. That's all.
And y'all, you mentioned old lady. This is not the old lady rose at all. In fact, this is weird. This is almost like a young person's rose, like a youthful rose scent.
Yeah, I'd say that more in the splash. Somehow in the soap, it's much more that masculine side of a rose. Not that it's taking it away in the splash, but as it's drying down, there's fun, flirtier sides coming through.
Well, Mila is 18 or 19. I wonder if this is one of the scents that she wears.
Maybe.
It made perfect sense to me. I'm going to whip out our cleverness scale, because where these are coming together is creating something so new, so different, and so beguiling. I can't keep whipping it. I would say this is like a 9.
That's what I was going to say.
9.5 on the cleverness scale.
Yep.
And I love that there's a pickleball match happening between the florals and everything else. So as soon as the floral goes, I'm floral, something else hits it back and goes, no, I'm not. I'm floral. No, I'm not. I'm floral. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be Marcus in college, wrapping up a visit with his Nana on Inman Avenue in Stockton, California. You're going to be getting in the car. She's going to hand you a frosty Dr. Pepper for the road. And as one last sweet Nana gesture, she's going to grab a pair of scissors and cut off a beautiful bloom from those roses in the front yard. And she's going to give it to you and say, give this to your mom. And you're going to smell it all the way home. And it's a good thing you brought along your patchouli and oud so you can get your own. So head over to etsy.com/shop/adopted acre soap co to find this and all kinds of other cool stuff. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Royal Bloom, and what strikes me about this? In the perfuming world, there are certain famous accords. The Grossman accord, 4 notes that when they come together become way more than the sum of their parts, stumbled upon almost by accident. And in our wet shaving world, Dapper Docks, Lilac, Fig, coming together to be way more than anyone, even the perfumers, thought would be possible. There is something about this soap that makes me now understand that phone call when Doug Lane called and said, I got my rose, I got my oud, but something's missing. It might be patchouli. I'm going to try it. And then getting that Eureka phone call the next day, that really brought out something new and amazing in all of the notes, creating one of those slot machine lightning striking moments that we are so here for. And y'all, I'm going to say it. The new best shave of my life was recently with an adopted Acres lather. It even dethroned my sterling best shave of my life. I know. Stay tuned for details. Doug, Kara, thank you for this. Welcome to Messages.
So for our July giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get this custom brush from Opus Brush.
Yeah, y'all, Craig made it just for a giveaway for our show, and all you have to do to be eligible is send us an email here to WeSentYou@theBarbershopDuet.com so we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back here on our first August episode to see if you are the lucky new owner of this fantastic brush.
Best of luck.
I thought this would be here, maybe. Yeah, only because of what the set notes are, my understanding of them. And this is why I love the wet shaving and even the perfumery world, because they're going to take things you know, like notes of music, and put them together in a brand new way so that you see a door and you want to paint it black. You know what I mean?
It is fun to go full circle and take the 2 scent notes that we were most nervous about when we first started this and put them together in a fun way that we almost can't even pull those scent notes out.
This is one of my favorites in the last few weeks. Yo, what a beautiful scent this is. And again, from the places we least expect. So hey, if you were looking on a sales page of an artisan that you love, grab 1 or 2 of the outliers for you. You might end up finding an absolute champion in your den.
I love knowing that they start from scratch at Adopted Acres and just start there. And knowing that Kara has her fresh when she started, I can't wait to get our noses on summer vibes. So don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.